What it is, yo? What's up? It's your boy Smooth. This is your Wednesday night sports delight, the platform sports talk show. It's been a minute, but I'm back and God is dope. Hope you all are having a wonderful Wednesday here in the Lou. It is very warm, 80 degrees. Trying to find out where the nearest pool party is because it's like crazy right now. But then this weekend is going to be like a higher 40 degrees or lower Midwest weather. But thanks for tuning in. We need everyone right now to go ahead and share this stream with all your peoples, to those who you know are sports fans, lovers, followers, the whole nine, because we need y'all opinions, need y'all comments to be on the screen the whole show. Let's get it in on your Wednesday night sports delight. I'm not alone. Up first, this very, very young lady. She's under the weather just a little bit, so don't judge. It is what it is. But she's a trooper. She's our homie. She's the host of Ladies Night. Bunny, what's going on with you?
Happy hump day, y'all. What up? What up?
Hump day.
You
And up
ain't lying
next,
about that weather too, man. It's
man,
probably why I sound the way I do. Stuff is up and down.
right, like a freaking roller coaster.
I'm here for the warm weather, but I know it's coming to the end, so it's
Right,
November.
right. Now I did check I saw a post that it's not supposed to get like real crazy, like weather wise, in regards to like freezing rain, snow until maybe in between January and February. So like maybe December it's gonna still be warm like it was last year. Not like 85 degrees warm, but you know what I'm saying. The worst of it may be, around January or February. So we'll see. But we from the Midwest, so we ready for whatever.
You right about that. You right
We
about
used to it. Now I say this every year. If you've been living in St. Louis longer than 10, 15, 20 years, don't act brand new when you see snow and ice on the ground. Okay? It
right.
happens
I
every
know.
year. You know what I'm
I
saying?
know,
Oh
right?
my God, it's snowing. It's
Right. Like the whole sky is falling. Like y'all
right.
really snowing
Right.
ice.
Come on,
Really.
stop acting brand new and just do what you gotta do.
If you can't
Okay?
drive and stay your asset off the road, don't hold the rest of us up, man.
That's
Sheesh.
it. That's it. Ain't no one push you to say go out there and drive and drive crazy. No, no, no. Okay. And up next, my guy, he's in Orlando, Florida. He is trying to evade some tropical storms out there. He's on the show. He's ready to give his opinions. You know how he do. T-Bone, what's going on, man?
Man, y'all talking about the weather out there. It is November, and we're talking about tropical storms, hurricanes potentially out here. And I don't know. When I was in St. Louis just a couple days ago, I'm like, man, this weather is warm for November. Made me start thinking I'm crazy. I had to go and look up the past, like doing one of those year by year weather searches, and on this date, I'm
Right.
like, it ain't been this warm in St. Louis, or at least during the times when I was looking. Like 1994 was like the last relative time where it was in the 70s, and now it's in the 80s. It was like 82 today. I'm like, this
Right.
crazy. And then next week it's supposed to be a little bit of a dusting on the ground at some point overnight. So
Welcome
look,
to the Midwest. I mean,
Man.
look, your birthday, Fred, is like the marker. Either you're gonna be hitting up on winter, or we're gonna still get mild weather. Your birthday right in the middle. Decide what we gonna have for fall.
Yeah. So those who don't know, my birthday is on November the 17th. So it's gonna be nice, man. Just came back from Vegas this past weekend. Me, my SA Dub, shouts out to you, Jamie, love you. My brother in love and my sister in love. We all went to Vegas, had a great time. Was there from last Thursday to this past Sunday. Well, me and my wife was until this past Sunday and had a great time. If you see the link, the QR code on the top right of your screen, just scan it. If you got your phone, just scan it real quick. You can follow everything about, Smoooth Productions, platform, sports talk show, anything affiliated with Smoooth Productions is right there. Just scan it real quick. And you check out the photos, the reels I left. Had a great time, man. Went to the stratosphere for the first time. I was like, wow. Just like it was amazing. Top of the world. I mean, literally top of the world. You over 300-400 feet, kind of like the arch a little bit, and it was just a cool little view. Then we had the rotating restaurant joint going on too. So it's like, let's say for instance, if you go to the bathroom,
Mm-hmm.
by the time you leave the bathroom, your seat is not gonna be the same place it was when you first got in the bathroom. You're gonna be like, wait a minute, I swear I sat right there. No, the whole room rotated around by the time you got out the bathroom. It's mad crazy. The
You
food
don't
was
get motion sickness while you're eating.
so Jamie was saying that, for a second, not that she had like, no any sickness, but she was kind of like, whoa, because she wasn't, used to something like that. But she got used to it, and we had a great time. The food was great. Took some dope photos, and the drinks was on point. So great time. We were celebrating my brother, and of course yours truly, could be Scorpios. So Scorpio season. So a little Scorpio trip, to Vegas, and it was a fun time, man. We've been to this spot called Corks and Dine or something like that. Corks and Wine. It's like kind of like this hole in the wall club in Vegas, and it kind of made it feel like you wasn't in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? And that was a good thing. It was a cool little hole in the wall spot. Had live entertainment. Got turned up afterwards and everything. Cool little vibe, man. But it was my second time officially in Vegas, and just love to have fun times with the wifey and family, man. So just enjoy a little bit of vacation, last week, and just had a wonderful time.
Do we have any restaurants like that in St. Louis where the rooftop where spinning on the roof?
We used to have one. I think it was the Radisson back in the day. Bunny, recall the one right by Busch Stadium?
I thought Millennium. I thought the Millennium one.
Yeah.
Now I've stayed in there a couple times when we came for the Gateway Classic with Kentucky State.
Yeah, that was, like I said, that you talking about early 2000s when it was, still open. Right now, it's been vacant for a few years now. But yeah, they have the rotating 360 thing going on.
Can I tell you that when we stayed there, I don't remember if it was the first or second year. Well, somebody from the band decided it was a good idea from the second floor balcony, like he's Jeff Hardy, decided to go dive into the pool off the balcony of the hotel.
Oh God!
Wow! Exactly.
We all heard about that one, and
it kind of remind me of, remember that episode of on The Fresh Prince when he was like, Hillary Banks, will you marry me? Yeah, but yeah, we still have that. Now I know what's the hotel right there? The Hilton at the ballpark.
Mm-hmm.
They have the 360.
The rooftop up there.
Yeah, I want to say they have a 360 there. I know they have, the whole rooftop thing. I'm not sure if it's 360, but they St. Louis trying to do some things.
I went to one in Detroit a long time ago. That was actually for WrestleMania 27 weekend. I went to a restaurant like that. So yeah, I want to, now I'm married, I want to, find some date night places. That was one of the things that came to my mind.
You know what? Speaking of which, man, I know this is a sports talk show, but we human beings,
they gotta know people.
So, the wife and I, we've been real big on like doing, date night, marriage couples, date nights and stuff like that. Meeting up with other people who we know are married and stuff like that. So, Bunny, you and your husband, T-Bone, you and the wife, whomever else watching this show who's married, happily married, and just want to get out and have a good time of being around other married couples, we want to do that. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about, this embracing that feel of love and marriage and the strength of unity and everything. We about that. So we got definitely hook up and do a nice little, married couples night out and everything.
Hey, that sounds good.
Because matter of fact, the last time I seen your wife with me, she came over to the old house a couple years ago, right?
That would have been back in 20. Let's see, that would have been in 2017.
Oh, I thought you talking about like right before the pandemic. Dang,
it's been that long.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. But before we continue on, we want to go ahead and give our condolences. This morning, we found out that the co-owner and president of Matthews Dickey, Mr. Martin Matthews, passed away today. He was a huge force in this community.
Mm-hmm.
I was glad, and my mom had me playing football when I was younger, baseball. I played at Matthews Dickey, so I'm a Matthews Dickey Bulldog product. I had an
Mm-hmm.
opportunity to meet him when I was younger, and the stuff that he did for the community, for the Matthews Dickey Boys and Girls Club, he's just been instrumental in regards
Mm-hmm.
to what he has done in the Lou. I saw a picture of him with Jackie Robinson's wife.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, he's met so many people, he's influenced so many people, and he just provided so many opportunities and open doors for the youth. So we definitely had to give our love and our condolences to the great Mr. Martin Matthews, who passed away today. Bunny, did you have any thoughts on Mr. Martin Matthews?
Definitely a pillar in the community, and as you say, that he did so much for the Black community, especially gave an outlet for all the young boys and girls out there, and then for people like yourself that are products of it. They've given back. They become coaches, and they also send their kids through Matthew Dickey's programs, and they also, with his vision, he helped to, expose kids to sports and just all around the community needs it. And even though he's just passed away, his legacy was cemented decades ago, and it will forever live on. So he's definitely been a pillar in the St. Louis community, and he truly be missed. But his vision came to fruition, and then some. And like you said, I think Matthews Dickey started around, if I'm not mistaken, was it the 70s or 60s, further back? But the fact that you're talking about decades later, still around, still thriving, the community still needs it. So that's how impactful it was. So we're thankful for what he did. And like I said, his legacy will continue to live on.
Most definitely. T-Bone, your thoughts?
When I was younger, I never really got a chance to do like youth sports or anything like that. But even in schools, like especially when I got into like the Normandy school district, I found out about a lot of kids who, went through the program and played in some form of fashion. So, it seemed like that whole thing, really served its purpose as far as like giving kids, like you said, an outlet for sports and everything like that, and just giving them something to do, give them something to be productive, finding value and goals and everything like that. So I think that presence will surely be missed, but as long as everything's still going on, I think that his legacy is definitely going to last a long time.
Most definitely. And someone else who we want to show love to real quick, as you're talking about, his legacy and everything, not relating to him, but of course, last week we lost a big person in hip hop, and that was Takeoff Amigos, who was his life was cut short at the age of 28. So condolences to his family and just this people who just want to have guns and just wild out and do things that's not even called for during a time where we should be celebrating hard work paying off and seeing the results of everything that you have brought to the table, and now your life is cut down short because of gun violence and because of anger issues or whatever the fact is. He was a big integral part in regards to Amigos. They were all family, and now that he's gone, so definitely our condolences to Takeoff and just to whoever's going through any personal issues right now. We know we are going through hard times right now, but we all have to still keep a positive mindset, keep God first in our lives, and let's look for the better good.
I know. Just like when we had started the show a couple weeks ago, dealing with the shooting in St. Louis at the
Right.
high school.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts and prayers. They get so old when it comes to gun violence. Why? But here we are. So it's just been too normalized because we hear about it too often. But just make as you like to do this show, Smooth. You started off the show 4 years ago, and you wanted to give people their flowers, talk about sports. And funny thing, real quickly with Takeoff, he was on drink champs a week prior to him being
Right.
murdered, and talking about he won his flowers now. Didn't even know he was
Right.
speaking into fruition, but unfortunately, he passed away a week after doing that show. But if nobody else knows, now everybody know. Okay, check out how much he's meant to the group and what he's done, and so hopefully he got some of his flowers in that short time. But hopefully his music and his impact will still be, ongoing, even though he's physically not here.
Most definitely. So before we go ahead and get to our first topic of the evening, T-Bone, tell everybody where they can find us at and show love to us at, man.
I mean, I know a lot of y'all probably looking at us on YouTube right now. So hey, it's Platform Sports Talk Show. We're available every Wednesday night in some form of fashion. Catch us on the Roku. You also, hey, send those emails out. Let us know who you want to hear from. Let us know who your sports memories are. Let us know who your sports influences are. Maybe we can get them on the show at Platform Sports Talk Show at gmail.com. Check us out on Roku, and also check us out on Hot 365 Radio. Hey, it's always hot out there. Check us out on that. You'll be able to see, or here I go again. I said see. We talking about the radio. That's where you listen. So if you listen to us on Hot 365, you'll be able to hear us pretty much the whole show. Nowadays they extended us a little bit. So, check us out on there, the Platform Sports Talk Show. And hey, look, when we get to the first Wednesday of the month, it's always ladies' night. All right. You'll be able to see Bunny, Joe, Coach Willis. You'll see all of them out there. And you get to hear that point of view. And hey,
Coach Stringer too. Shouts out to you, Coach Stringer.
Oh, Coach Stringer. Look, see, I'm messing up. I'm not in my right location. All right, I ain't got my notes and stuff.
We ain't judging.
Last Wednesday of the month, you got the Man Cave, you got Stanton, Sadal, myself, Craig Black. We all out here. So hey, check us out. And guess what, y'all? Is this time, Smoooth?
It's showtime. We have breaking news.
All right, it's breaking news. We here to tell you that next month there's going to be not one, but two super shows featuring the Man Cave Ladies Night Super Show, December 7th and December 28th. You'll be able to see us pretty much all together for the most part. Maybe, we'll see. This is like the all-star game of the Platform Sports Talk Show. The all-stars. You got the Man Cave, the Ladies Night. We'll be all together. Who knows? Hey, maybe everybody, you haven't seen all these opinions together. Maybe we'll get to see, how everybody kind of fits in, what everybody thinks. Maybe we'll play some games. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But it's going to be a super show on December 7th and December 28th. Check it out. Go on YouTube. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe and hit that bell so that way you will be
notified.
No.
That's right.
You got to say it again and hit that.
That's right.
That bell, baby.
I'm all discombobulated out here. Tropical storms. There's winds out there blowing. Who knows what's going on right now?
It's going crazy.
Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
Yes. So once again, go ahead and share this post right now with the peoples. If you know they love sports, go ahead, hit that like and share button, and let's get more people tuned in and leave the comments. If you're on Facebook or on YouTube, you can comment as much as you like. If you're on Twitter, you can't comment. They have a blockage, so you got to go on Facebook or YouTube and leave them comments. We'll have them posted on the screen. I'm waiting on our favorite fan to leave a post.
Wait, can we rewind? You said if you go on Twitter, it's blocked. Wait, what happened? Since the takeover, something happened? How they doing Twitter now? Catch me up on game.
Yeah, for a while now, Twitter hasn't allowed you to leave comments so we can see it. So you had to leave it on Facebook or on YouTube so we can see it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is prior to the takeover. Okay.
Hopefully they get that fixed. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have anything to do with Elon Musk. It's before him. So hopefully they get that together. But right now, just YouTube and Facebook, you can leave comments so we can see it. I can post it, and you'll be special for the next 2-3 hours on the show.
Hey, and you know what? For all y'all out there who don't know about how these social media platforms work, look, they ain't charging y'all no money. We ain't nothing yet. But
right.
Facts and more facts.
But look, when y'all hit that like, when y'all hit that subscribe, when y'all leave a comment, that lets YouTube know y'all ain't just got this on and in the background somewhere. That lets YouTube know that y'all listen to us. That lets y'all know that they want to push us out to where more people can hear us. That's how we get reach. That's how we gain, traction out here. And all we asking is that you go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe, leave some comments in those YouTubes. Tell us, give some feedback in real time. Now, I'm not saying just leave jibber jabber, but if you do, it still counts as a comment. So, just hit some comments. So that's why we always appreciate that. I want to thank all y'all out there for listening and engaging with us every week.
Exactly. Because, this show, we love doing what we do, but this show is for y'all. We provide a platform for y'all to express your feelings. This is a safe space. So we got y'all. With that being said, now have my attention. What sports stories has your attention? Bunny, go ahead and be our leadoff batter.
What has my attention? So initially, I got on the bandwagon of, Udoka about to be the coach of the Nets. Yeah, I can't wait. That was a quick, unemployment round for him. And all of a sudden, wait, what? Okay. Jacques Vaughn, nothing against him. Cool brother. And by the way, if people didn't know out there, technically, he's a stunt double. Jacques Vaughn is a stunt double for our one and only DJ Fred, aka Smoooth. So if y'all ever run into him and y'all in the basketball game or something, and y'all be like, that could be Smoooth. Nah, that's him. Look at that. He's stunt double for him, y'all. I'm telling you. So sometimes y'all thinking it's the real Smoooth DJ. No, it's Jacques Vaughn. I'm telling you. When y'all make productions, no, it's Jacques Vaughn. That's the stunt double.
Better show me that money. That got the coaching money.
We're speaking to existence for you. But yeah, that got my attention because I just knew that Udoka was on that train. Like, I'm like, dang, and that's working quick. And rewind a little bit. First, I didn't see the Nash firing happen the way it did. 5 games into the season, and he's on the chopping block. And then within the same day, it's like, Udoka probably is going to be the one in the next day or two of finalized contract to be the coach of the Nets. And then, I'm like, damn, stuff happening so fast, left, right, and then storyline went totally left. But okay, shout out to him. Congratulations. I know he's been in the league for a while. He's been a head coach before the interim basis as well. But I remember Jacques Vaughn back on his KU days. That's how long I've been watching ball. I wasn't even in high school. Remember he's at KU? Jacques Vaughn, that goal. It was cold.
Yeah. They always had some great teams, but they just could not get over that hump and win the national championship. And now, T-Bone, guess who is responsible for the reason that Ime Udoka is not the head coach of the Nets right now?
Let's see. If I had to think, Nets, Celtics. Wait, who else was with the Celtics that's on the Nets? Kyrie? Does this have anything to do with Kyrie?
Exactly.
Oh, look at that.
Here we go again. Damn, this boy almost like a moving cancer. Goodness gracious.
So because of the anti-Semitic issues, whatever going on right now with Kyrie, the Nets didn't want to compound things with what Udoka is already going through from what he did with the Celtics and add on to what Kyrie has been doing over the last week in regards to his views. So that made them go ahead and change their direction. Like Bunny thought that Udoka was going to be the head coach. That made them change their direction to have Jacques Vaughn instead be the head coach. So at first he was the interim, but now he is the official head coach. Now, what I'm hearing, this is just speculation, that maybe this could be like a tryout, for the end of the season to see how the team looks, how they're gelling, whatever, and then they'll go from there. But Kyrie Irving, once again, is the reason why certain things have not happened for the Nets.
Can I just say, I would like to change my NBA picks because I did not see this happening within the time where I made my initial picks a couple weeks ago to now. You remember I picked the Nets, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I feel good about this. And then here we go. Here we go again. Thank y'all for those comments, by the way.
Hey, that's my knucklehead brother. That boy talking. Be like Tupac and Poetic Justice.
But here's the thing: we don't know what he did. We still don't know what he did.
Oh, so I'm going to give you the tea. I'm not in the NBA streets like that, but I listen to a couple of podcasts. So the tea is that personnel that he allegedly had a relationship with, it wasn't just a regular staff member. Allegedly, it's supposed to be one of the VPs or one of the execs' wife.
Right. We talked about that on the Man Cave.
But how she got caught up, or she got caught up. However, did y'all hear about how Jalen Rose did on the NBA show last week?
Mm-mm.
So when they were talking about the situation, Jalen Rose said, "Hey, we need to still find out who the name of this lady is. If y'all out Udoka in this relationship, why we don't out her?" They went to commercial break within 2.1 minutes. That man was on the air apologizing. I said, "Dang!" Like he got in trouble for asking why they couldn't out her name if Udoka's name got outed out. So,
the
thing is, if this was like a rape situation, a domestic abuse situation, if it was something or a minor, I get it. This is just a regular relationship. People have extramarital affairs or whatever you call relationships that are not appropriate all the time, not just in NBA and the regular jobs we have. So why is it secret? Because that's how high up it is. They want to say the embarrassment from that exec.
There's that. Now I can understand. Look, the coach is a public figure. The other person probably isn't a public figure. So I can understand that from that standpoint, but I don't even think that's where this is coming from. I think it's more like what you're saying. Like if it's got to do with the exec, now everybody's got more embarrassment and they don't want that. But I'm just saying, like, if that's the case, and I said this when we talked about it a few months ago, if we're talking about some people who had a consensual thing, you can't talk about him and say, well, this is a matter of what your status is versus she's a staffer, she works below you. But that you can't cite that if you married to a VP. Like all that's conflict. Married or not, that's all the conflict same way.
Was all messed up. When they announced that he was suspended, they didn't even have to. They could have said he's suspended for violation of team rules. We hear that all the time on college rosters, especially for what different sports. Right. You could have left it like that. The streets could maybe say not, but it wouldn't have gotten this bad. Y'all specify. You didn't have to. This is not a legal matter.
That's the issue.
An organizational thing.
That's the biggest issue right there. Exactly. Is that you put him out there on the front line to make him look terrible when this could have been behind the scenes taken care of. We shouldn't have been knowing what's going on. We should all be like, oh, what happened? You know what I'm saying? But not knowing exactly what happened. This man in his first year did something that hasn't been done in many years for the Celtics and brought them to the finals. But because he's a black man, I'm saying it, because he's a black man, he made whoever look foolish, and they didn't want to put him out there to make him look bad, and that should not have been the case. And I saw what Stephen A. Had a while back. He's seen plenty of other owners or personnel do far worse things than what Ime Udoka has done. Far worse things, and it's been swept under the rug or it's been handled in a private manner. But this man brought y'all to a finals champion. I mean, to a finals, 2 games away from winning in his first year. And y'all put him out there like he's a piece of shit. And that's the issue that a lot of people are having, is how the whole matter was treated.
And it sounds like a pride thing. Y'all are men. I'm a woman. Y'all hear all the times. You hear both sides. Men cheat all the time. Women cheat all the time. When you got somebody that cheats, and if somebody really mad, especially a woman, you know, we be emotional. Oh yeah, we gonna have a vengeance. But how far are you gonna take this vengeance? Because it sounds like an ego thing. Like I said, if it's an ex-wife or whoever, y'all put it publicly like that to try to embarrass this man, it wouldn't take all of that. You need to embarrass the owners of the Phoenix Suns, of the Washington Commanders. When you got people being misogynist towards women, it's nothing to do with, consensual relationships. Make them look bad. Make them be a POS. But we're talking about somebody who had a relationship outside of another perfect relationship, covered a man's wife, which happens, like I said, every day, all day, regular jobs, NBA, MLB, NHL, whatever. So now here we are. they thinking that was bad. And then 2 weeks later, we got the Kyrie thing, and this man has an opening for a job. Now he can't get a job because Kyrie's got his own issues. I swear the Nets, they like a walking time bomb.
Right.
It's always
Right.
something.
Always something. Yeah. So, like I said, man, it goes back to Kyrie once again because of the issues that he has brought up on his own. And I know T-Bone wants you to further elaborate from the chat we had yesterday in regards to his situation. But because of what he has brought to the forefront, that's the reason why the Nets halted getting Ime Udoka because of Kyrie. T-Bone, what has your attention?
Well, see, I wasn't trying to lead off with Kyrie because we got that later on, right?
Yeah.
And so y'all gonna have to stay tuned for that one. So let me come up with something. You know what? Let's go sports adjacent. Let's talk about wrestling real quick. Smooth, you saw the cash in with Austin Theory?
Yes, I did.
What'd you think of that before I say?
So as I said in the chat, I just feel to me that it was one of those let me clean up Vince McMahon's mess. Not saying Austin Theory is a bad wrestler or a bad guy because he's not. I like him. But I personally don't. I personally feel that Triple H doesn't feel that Austin Theory is marketable to be a champion at this time. So he wanted to find a way to, get rid of having him have the belt. I mean, excuse me, the briefcase, and wait until a different time to have him possibly be a champion or in the running. So he trying to find a way to, have him, give out the belt. I mean, the briefcase for right now, so no one is clear of who gonna beat Roman Reigns or whatever. Then I thought about what you said in the chat as well. That
Hold up.
Okay, all right. But yeah, so that was my thought was that's a Triple H trying to let me go clean up this mess that was left before I took over. Now I'm gonna do things differently, and now you can go here and take over, T-Bone.
Yeah, here's the thing. What you said, that's reasonable. I have no problem with that, right? But for whatever reason, I decided to go on Twitter or whatever social medias and see what people thought about it. And everybody who I've seen has posted like, "Oh, this is the worst thing."
Yeah, right, I saw that.
Hey, they've ruined Money in the Bank all these years. It's trash. They just threw it away just like that. And I'm like, you know what? Chill, people. Chill.
Right.
Like, here's the thing. There's several points about this. I wish I had a list, but let me see if I can remember them off the top of my head. Like, Austin Theory is a guy who, and I just thought about this a second ago when you talked about cleaning up Vince's stuff. Maybe that's kind of what it was. Because remember, everything Austin Theory got was in character with Vince McMahon.
Right.
Maybe we need to separate and distance himself from all that, right? Let's get him away from that guy so we don't associate Austin Theory with Vince McMahon. But I've said this, one of the things that Triple H did from the very start when he took over in August, and I don't think it's fair to associate, the WWE stuff with, 5 years ago and 6 years ago and 2 years ago. Triple H just took over in August, pretty much, right? That was pretty much right after SummerSlam was when he pretty much started pushing in what he wanted to do. And one of the first things he did was make the U.S. title seem important. With Bobby Lashley, the matches, the video package that they did that first week after SummerSlam. They did all this stuff to make the title seem important. Same thing with the Intercontinental title. You got Roman Reigns has both the world titles. So my thought is, one, it kind of does make sense. Everybody's like, oh, it doesn't make sense. I'm like, well, wait a minute. If you're Austin Theory, who's this young guy who wants what he wants right now, right? He can be impatient because he just wants to get that victory. He wants that championship belt. He wants people to see him as a champion. Young, cocky. Well, is he going to beat Roman Reigns? Does that seem like it? And just think of it in character. Does that seem like it's a realistic option? Are you really going to find Roman Reigns in a vulnerable position? He only wrestles once every couple months anyway. It's not like he's usually down for the count after those matches. And he's surrounded by his family. So can we just logically check that box out, Smooth?
Yep.
Okay, so let's check out that box. All right, so okay. Well, he saw the NXT champion. He saw Braun Breaker. So again, in story, they've shown you that he's considering other options besides Roman Reigns. So he looked at Braun Breaker. Maybe he decided, no, I don't want to do that. Gunther has the IC title, but he's surrounded by guys too, isn't he? And would you want to try to cash in on that guy?
Nope.
No. Okay. So he just had a match with Seth Rollins last week, and he lost head to head, straight up. He lost. So if he lost, okay, maybe he wants some retribution. Maybe he wants some revenge. Maybe this guy felt like, oh, well, you know what? That's my belt, that U.S. title, because he just had it a few months ago. That's my belt. I want it back. He saw Seth Rollins in a vulnerable position. Again, it tracks to me that a young guy would make a rush decision. I gave this analogy to somebody. I said, because somebody was talking about how unrealistic it is. I'm like, okay, well, you tell me why a bunch of early 20-year-olds would decide that it's a good idea if they want a big screen TV to go to Rent-A-Center to get it instead of saving up the money, right? Not the best decision, but people do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in his case, he saw an opportunity to get a belt quickly, quick, fast, and in a hurry. And he would have got it. He had no reason to believe that Bobby Lashley would have attacked him, right? So I think that, you know, it just has my attention that people just jump to such like, oh, this is the worst thing ever, and not even just take the time, you know, hey, can this make sense? It may not be what you want, and I can understand that, but like, it's not like it doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make the sense that you want it to make. So I think it may wind up being a situation where he winds up being on a rebuilding thing, going somewhere, trying to, you know, redefine who he is, maybe learn from the mistakes, right? Maybe something like that. Or it could also turn around and, hey, look, Bobby Lashley jumped in here, jumped this guy. The regime now is trying to present themselves as fair, whether it's good guys or bad guys. They're trying to present themselves as fair. Who's to say that he doesn't get the briefcase back?
And it's crazy because those same people that's like applauding Triple H, oh, he's doing everything right. Then he do one thing. Oh my God, what is it's like? Come on,
they're ready to come for his head.
come on, people.
Send him to the guillotine, ready to chop off his head.
Yeah. Shouts out to the host of the Man Cave, Stan. He says, I feel like it's a state of decline to a rebuild for Theory. And he says, hey, y'all.
All right, Stan, what up? He's still on my list, but what up?
Say it again, Bunny.
I said, Stan's still on my list, but what up? Trying to my baseball intelligence.
Oh, wait. T-Bone, Stan has made the list.
Apparently, the showdown's going to be December 7th on the Man Cave and the late night Super Show. Check it out. 8 p.m.
Yes.
Good plug. Good job.
There you go. Bam. Get ready. The Super Show. Let's see. Stan says, I could anticipate Lashley attacking Theory. Yes, Theory had the U.S. title, but Lashley had it last. And then Stan said, not the list.
The list. Dum.
Uh-oh. Trouble. All right. So what has my attention is a few things.
We got your attention. You got a few of them. Okay. Like to hear
a few things. As you know now, Joe is not on the show tonight because over the last 2 days, she has been transitioning from Boondocks Part 1 to Boondocks Part maybe Boondocks Part 2. I don't know. We ain't seen it yet. So
hey,
she has moved on. What'd you say, T-Bone?
This Boondocks season.
Right. So congrats to Joe as she is transitioning from her former home to her new bigger mansion out there. So she had to put down about $1 million to, you know, seal the deal and everything, but she's doing so definitely shouts out to her. So she's busy doing that right now. So she's gonna be on this evening. She'll be back next week, hopefully. But I brought her up because the Blues aren't looking too good. And I'm wondering, are we getting to a point where we may have to play this? How do I say goodbye?
That's what Stoss brought up yesterday. Play that song. Like, when I say this is depressing, it ain't even like a losing streak. Like,
it's terrible. This is the worst
y'all talk
start.
about how people be trying to tank in the NBA. They started tanking in the NHL at the beginning of the season. This is what this is, because I don't understand.
This is the worst stretch of hockey they have ever had.
This is worse than the Stanley Cup year, y'all said, right? Because they were doing bad then too.
This is the worst in franchise history. 7 games in a row they have lost. They are not in sync.
What's the problem?
So a lot of people are saying David Perron and Joe, she's here. Hey guys, I literally just tuned in. Thank you and go Astros, baby. But yeah, so because my mom asked me, she's like, I know Joe is sick right now because of the Blues. But I'm thinking to myself, well, first, Joe is moving, so she's happy. Second, her Astro just won the World Series. So that's one right there. So I think right now she's okay. But when she settles down, like, what?
It's gonna sink in that the Blues.
WTF, Blues.
I keep telling you on the chat. And at this point, I can't even say the Blues to give me the Blues. They are depressing. Yeah. Like, they're playing the worst other team that got a record just like them tomorrow. Who is it? The Sharks, I want to say? They got a record 3-8 like them. Like, battle the worst team in the league right now. Who is going to come out on top? Are the Blues that bad they can't beat the other team that's just as bad as them? Like, what are we doing here, people?
So yeah, going back, a lot of people are saying because of the loss of David Perron and how it's affecting the captain, Ryan O'Reilly, he's not himself because he doesn't have his scoring mate. Then they're saying the immaturity of Robert Thomas and Jordan Kyrou, how those two guys who just signed extensions over the offseason, they're not taking over this team. The another thing they're saying.
So when you say immaturity, they want them to be that veteran voice now.
Yes,
they're not that old,
right,
and they're not. They're just like, I'm here so I don't get fined. They trying to Marshawn Lynch y'all, right? I'm just here so I don't get fined.
And yeah, Joe says, thankfully I had the Astros and moving is keeping me distracted. And then also it's who are they? You know what I'm saying?
They don't have identity.
Exactly. That's something else that they have to work on. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, get rid of Craig Berube. He's not the problem."
Clearly, this man did with this before, and he took him to a Stanley Cup. So I don't think he's a problem. And also think about this: the Tarasenko drama happened a couple years ago. We passed that, so I thought, but that may be a background thing too. This Tarasenko as well. Don't forget that.
Yeah. So I mean, it's I know it's early in the season, but we have not experienced. Once again, this is a franchise record of how they started the season, losing 7. Well, not starting losing 7 in a row, but now currently in a 7-game losing streak. The team does not have any rhythm. Players are scared to produce. They don't know what they're doing out there. They're lost. I don't know if this is going to be a turnaround like the Stanley Cup year. This could possibly end up being a rebuild year if guys don't step up to the plate. We shall see, but right now it's not looking too good.
So it is fixable, but you got to start fixing this in pieces. Or do all 4 lines need to be fixed? Like, where do we do? Where do we go? Like, please.
At the end of the day, is how bad do the players want it?
Well, after you lost 2, 3, okay, I'm gonna be nice. After you lost the 5th game, you should be like, yeah, I don't like this feeling no more. I want to win.
Yeah.
7th loss, it's gonna make you feel like, oh, okay, maybe we need to get our shit together. Really? Come on now, this is not Blues hockey. Just like how we talk about the Cardinal way. The Blues hockey has set a standard, especially when Berube finally got them going. We took off, back in 2019. But this ain't Blues hockey. And definitely, we've never been an organization where we've not had good defense either. And we can't put this all on Binnington either as the goalie.
No.
You cannot block every shot. When some stuff shouldn't be getting that close to him. That's why I was looking at. So I was like, this is the one time I can say, which I don't have nothing against Binnington. I know Joe sometimes don't feel him. But I'm like, this not on him. The defensemen got to do their job. It ain't at the last minute when it's right in front of the goal.
And something else, and Joe, if you're still watching, it goes back to the offseason too. Because Doug Armstrong, he's been an incredible GM or president of hockey operations, and a lot of moves he's made has been right on point. but could this have been the offseason in which he didn't make the right move in regards to re-signing David Perron, trying to bring in, Brady Kachuk, whoever, to fill in those lines to be that impact scorer? Should he have done more in the offseason? And could this be like a psychological effect on the current team because they maybe was hoping for more firepower going to the season, and they didn't do that because they lost David Perron. They lost this guy, or they didn't bring in more reinforcements, and now the team doesn't know how to act. Could that be on on Doug Armstrong because of the lack of moves that was made in the offseason? And Joe, with the comment right on point, they didn't make the moves. Lost DP57, David Perron, and didn't replace him the first time. See, Joe, I got you.
I got celebrity going on here. I mean, what's up?
No, was not playing the scripted. I got you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I got telepathy, but okay.
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking, because everyone thinks about, just what they see on TV and the physicality, whatever. But the mental game is a very important thing as well. Because if you don't have the right mental, you're not gonna win a championship. Bottom line. And let's see, Joe says, and it is silly to say losing one player is the reason why. But let's see how the Cards do next year without Yachty. We talk about that in very soon on the Sports Talk Show. T-Bone?
Maybe he trained his replacement. Anyway.
Now you're acting like real corporate America right there now. Hold on.
Let's see.
Training your replacement. Here we are.
About 4-6, maybe, Anyway, look, sometimes teams go through cold streaks where it's not the best. But you know what? It's better to do it at the beginning of the season than like the Cardinals did, where you do it at the end of the season. So, that's pretty much all I got to say. They got enough time to figure it out and get their stuff together.
I just don't want us to be like the Lakers, because the Lakers had a losing streak too, and nobody sees them come out they funk no time soon either. So the Lakers are laughing stock in the NBA. I don't want the Blues to be the laughing stock in the NHL right now.
Because right now they at the bottom, and
bottom.
They're the worst scoring team in all of hockey as well. Like, can no one freaking score? Like, how's that possible?
And I'm so mad because if I was a fan that had actually paid for tickets or season tickets, I'll be like, oh, hell no.
Right.
We gonna find a way to get somebody to get some talent, get some scoring out there. Since I can't get my money back, something got to be complimented. Something.
So as we transition on with Joe leaving the comments and everything, congrats to the world champion Houston Astros. They defeated the Philadelphia Phillies 4-2. It was a great series, very entertaining. It kind of reminded me of the NBA Finals with the Warriors and the Celtics, how the Celtics were the underdogs, right? And they had an opportunity in Game 5 of the NBA Finals to secure a 3-1 lead going to Game 5. And they had it right there until the last 2 or 3 minutes of the fourth quarter, when Golden State came back and ended up tying that series. So from it being 3-1, ended up being 2-2. That was the same thing with the Phillies and Astros. The Phillies had all the momentum going to Game 5. They just had to win that last game in Philly before going back to Houston. They could have been up 3-1, but they lost in Philly. The series was 2-2. I want to say it was 2-2. Then it was like 3-2 Astros after they won Game 5. And then they go back to Houston, and Astros just did what they did. Yordan Alvarez, Joe's favorite player in the world, I think, showed out and did his thing. And once again, they are world champions. So congrats to them. And I know Joe got the comments coming. There we go. LFG. Y'all know what that means. If you don't know, think about it. And then Joe said not everyone can lose an all-star player like Carlos Correa and replace him with another stud rookie. Jeremy Pena. And when I saw Jeremy Pena, Bunny, pull him up on Google when you get a chance. Jeremy Pena. This dude is big.
Jeremy Pena, yeah.
Yeah, this dude is he's gonna be a stud for a long time, man. And he was the MVP.
He a shortstop, but he say he big and he a shortstop too?
Yeah, yeah. Dude is cut. He's the MVP of the World Series. So he did his thing, rookie. He was
came
shining.
from their farm system.
Yep, came through the farm system.
Okay.
And then Joe says not a no-hitter. So game 4, the Phillies, after they won game 3, they would no hit in game 4 in the World Series. It was a combined no-hitter by the Astros. So that was bad too. But then once again, they had opportunity to get that 3-1 lead or 3-2 lead, whatever. And they just couldn't get that win, that last game in Philly. And then they go back to Houston and lost the series. Your brother said, so the connection froze up when Smoooth said transition. He said Joe's been transitioning. Oh, so I guess he didn't hear. So yeah, Joe had transition. He probably thinking the worst.
Right, he was. That's what he said. What to what? But all question marks. Yeah, he was.
So yeah,
you are so stupid, boy.
So Joe has moved in regards to from a small house to a mansion now. So she's in the process.
About the Jeffersons, baby.
Right, she's moving on up, doing big things. So that's why she's not on the show tonight, because she has moved and she's getting settled in. Shouts out to her husband Brendan, and baby Joe, to baby Joe both.
Once they get settled in, baby Joe probably gonna get her playmate soon. Watch out for the next big news.
Right. And what's also a huge deal in regards to the Astros winning the championship is, of course, the head coach, Dusty Baker, the manager. He won as a player for the Dodgers back in 1981, the same year I was born. Wow.
I'm not what he thought of. Wow.
And now, as a manager, he went through some roles. When I say he went through something with the Giants, with the Cubs, with the Reds, with the Nationals, so on and so on. And now he finally won as a manager for the Astros. A big deal. Shouts out to him. Your thoughts, Joe? I'm sorry, Bunny, in regards to...
I'm about to say, wait, Joe popped up on here? Wait for her to type in.
She's in now. Everybody say hi. Now, your thoughts, Bunny, in regards to Dusty Baker winning the championship.
Well, congratulations to him. You know, the road was long, hard fought, but he finally got it as far as on the managerial side with that ring. Sad, though, that he was the only black, quote-unquote, black person part of the World Series teams. Between the Astros and the Phillies, there was no black players on the roster. He was the only one, and he wasn't even playing. He's just a manager, but still, congratulations to him. And I hope that he can, I don't know where they are, but some probably other players out there that wanted to be managers, and he can groom them and help them to, the role he took to get where he is now, help them along. But I'd love to see some more color and diversity in the managerial spot. But shout out to him. He's earned it. I know he gets respect from all the players. Like I think you just said, it's 5 organizations, so he finally got a ring. So he's sought after for a reason. So shout out to him, though.
T-Bone.
I think I got a Dusty Baker's card from the early 90s when he was doing, what was he, managing at that point? Maybe not early 90s, late 90s. I don't know. Anyway, look, good for him, because he's a name that I've heard for a long, long time. Obviously, before I was even born, he was in the World Series. So, good for him, and getting that World Series ring, and get it how you can get it.
Right. Yeah. So once again, I think it's official that if you are a Astros hater, from what they did years back, you might as well put that to rest, because they've proven that even outside of trash cans or whatever, that they still are a elite team and they are world champions. So you got to give them respect. This is the playoff picture and how everything ended up being. As you see, Cardinals were out after the wild card round. But the Phillies definitely made noise, being the lowest seed in the National League and going all the way to the World Series and losing to the Astros for the two. And the Astros were the number one seed. So you had the very top seed, overall seed against the lowest seed. And it was still an incredible series, very entertaining. Shouts out to Major League Baseball for a very entertaining series. And
I'm surprised that if this game was just 4 days earlier, y'all remember that game back in Tennessee when they beat Alabama? Those fans with that goalpost would still be down in Houston running, doing the parade, running that goalpost down there. I'm just saying that the game was a little bit closer. They'd have went from Tennessee all the way to Houston with the goalpost to celebrate.
And Joe says 6 straight ALCS in the World Series 4 times and won again. Pretty good. Yeah. So like I said, you got to give props to them. No matter your thoughts and opinions from what happened, years back, they still have been consistently going to a championship series and going to the World Series. So major props. And Dusty Baker did announce that he will be coming back for another year as well. I thought that maybe that would be his way of leaving. Like, hey, I got my ring. I'm older. I'm gone. No, he wants some more action.
Maybe
he got
he just might have somebody in the background to groom him a little bit longer, then put them in the forefront. Maybe he's trying to do that.
You talking about his replacement?
Yeah.
So once again, congrats to the Astros. So up next, let's talk about these Cardinals and the off-season moves. The holiday came early for the Cardinals. You're like, holiday? We talking about Thanksgiving is in 2 weeks and you got Christmas. No, we talking about Matt Holliday. It was just announced a few days ago that Matt Holliday is officially back in the fold in the Lou. He will be the bench coach, taking the place of former Cardinal Skip Schumacher, who was a bench coach this past year. Now he's moved on to the head managerial position, for the Marlins. But Matt Holliday is back. He's been coaching over at Oklahoma State, I believe. His sons were playing for that team, but he is now back in the fold as a bench coach. I believe this is going to be a great hire. He's going to bring he's going to have a great impact on this team. And I think what's going to be so different about him too, of course, him being so relatable like Skip Schumacher was, but you know how the whole analytics thing been going on now. He is going to bring more of that natural feel of the game that I think has been missing from this organization. He's been one of the guys who's been credited with helping out Matt Carpenter get his swing back that he had in New York. And he also has a great relationship with Arenado, with Goldie, and of course, he's just beloved. He's going to give a different mindset to this team and mentality. And if you see him in person, who gonna want to F with Matt Holliday and say no to him too?
With him. So congrats to Matt Holliday, and let's hope that.
Say it again. You breaking up, T-Bone.
I was saying, was he on the 2011 team, or did he come right after that?
He was on there.
He's a winner. He's a World Series winner.
I thought so. Yeah, okay, got it.
He was on there. So that wasn't the only news. So you have Dusty Blake. He has been promoted to the pitching coach. He's very big on analytics. He's like the Jeff Albert, which now he's no longer on the team, but he's like the Jeff Albert of the pitching staff. He's like very big on analytics and spin rate, and he's very big on detecting when this pitch that you throw is not being as effective, and what can he do to, enhance that back, or to, whatever your weakness was, make it a strong point, whatever it is. So he's very big on that, and the analytics and everything. So look forward to seeing what he's going to bring to the table to this pitching staff now that Mike Maddox is gone. He was with the team for about 3-4 years. Jeff Albert, once again, the previous hitting coach, he's gone and being replaced with for Jeff Albert in regards to the hitting coach is Turner Ward. He was with the minor league team. Then he was the assistant batting coach with the team, but now he's taken over. He also is a product, or he believes in, something similar to what Jeff Albert was preaching. But I have a feeling he's going to bring a different dynamic to the team. So I'm excited about it. Fresh faces. I think it was needed. A lot of people were not happy with Jeff Albert and how the team was during the season, how they have their streaks. You good doing June through August, but then September, you're cold and you can't find your way. So hopefully now with both Dusty Blake, Turner Ward, Matt Holliday, fresh faces, new ideas, along with Ali Marmol as the head coach, as the manager, I think could be seeing a change in regards to the team. Any
But I
thoughts?
also can see that Yadi eventually make his way back onto the staff. Not saying next year, but within a few years, I can see him doing it. Like how his brother Benji was on here. Speaking of, where is Benji? Benji now with the Cardinal staff anymore. Where did he go?
He of course he retired. And I know that his other brother is part of the radio broadcast for the
Right,
Cardinals.
Espanol.
But I think Benji just like behind the scenes is not doing as much. I had to double check that.
So that's what I said. I can see Yadi though doing something with the organization. I mean, he's not going to be gone from the game too long. He loves it so much. He's still passionate. Even though Father Time is undefeated, Yadi's still going to be around doing something. He gave all his time to the organization, so I don't see him working with another organization. But T-Bone, you talking?
Yeah, T-Bone, we can't hear you.
Wait, you can't hear me?
Now we can.
I said you never know. He might be the manager in like 5 years.
Oh yeah.
I hope so. I mean, hey, the youth movement's not always a bad thing. And you thinking like, oh, somebody that's in their 40s not considered a youth, but Dusty Baker is damn near 70. So, so if you're that young, like in your late 40s, early 50s, managing, that's kind of young still.
So in other news, Adam Wainwright announced that he has signed a extension, well, pretty much 1 year, but he's going to have payments throughout the next couple of years, but he wants to do like less now so they can bring in more talent down the road. So he didn't take like all 16 mil all in 1 year. He's getting different payments throughout the next few years so they can bring in more guys. So he'll be back next season, and he did say that this will be his final season. It's going to be interesting to see how he operates with Kisner and whoever they bring in as the catcher of next season. But I feel like it's right. You know what I'm saying? He had to go ahead and make that move in regards to, hey, it's the last year. I'm going to go out my way and do his thing. Bunny, your thoughts before you have to go ahead and leave in a matter of moments.
Well, I figured Wayne was going to do one more year after Pujols and Yadi mentioned it. He didn't say anything. So I figured he probably think he had one more good or decent year left. I'm not saying he had anything else to prove. He's won 2 rings. He's hit personal stats. He had his Cy Young talk a few years back. So he's, I think, thinking this is it. He should, as a pitcher. I don't expect him to be the ace or even number 2 spot, but we still need that veteran voice. As far as that contract, shout out to him for doing that, though, because he wants the Cardinals to be competitive, too. And deferring that money the way he did. But, I just hope he won't have to deal with too much injuries and he could just get one good last push. Like we thought Yadi and Albert were going to do it, which they did. We got to the playoff, but, ended it early. But hopefully he gets to, in his career, going to a playoff series as well and us winning it, too.
And Joe did give us an update. So Benji Molina is doing the Spanish radio for the Cardinals, and the older brother, Jose Molina, he's behind the scenes. He's not doing. Well, she doesn't know if he's doing anything in regards to the MLB.
Let me holler at Benji. Let's do some Espanol broadcast.
Right. But yeah, so Bunny, I know you got to go ahead and go. So thank you for your time. And we look forward to rapping with you next week.
Yes, go Blues. Put on.
Please, man.
The way I said it, I was just so enthused about that, right?
Right. Gold Blues. But yeah, you feel better, and we'll
Thank
see
you
you
all.
next week.
All right,
Yep.
good night.
All right. Hey, I kind of think Wainwright does have something to prove. Not necessarily the Cardinals fans, but if you're talking about the Hall of Fame ballot, that's where he has something to prove. So that's probably the main reason why he came back and was like, "Look,
he's trying to reach that specific I think it's innings mark or win. No, I'm sorry, wins. So he gets a certain number. I think it's like a sure lock, and he wants to go in and get that.
Yeah, because when they talked about Pujols and Yachty, they were like, "Oh yeah, these are surefire," and they were like, "Wainwright, well, he has a shot, maybe." This would be like the year that was secured for him.
Yeah, and then other news: Nolan Arenado, he opted in to his contract, so he'll be a Cardinal for the next few years. I believe until 2027. So he is locked in. He did not opt out to see about more money. He loves it here in St. Louis.
Who doesn't?
It's the perfect fit. It blends in perfectly. And we're all glad that we have a solid foundation for the next few years with him and Goldie as they are paid the way now that Yachty is gone. So those two guys have to be those guys in regards to being a captain, being that leader of the squad for the next 10 years as the younger guys like Jordan Walker, Dylan Carlson, if he's still there, and other guys are on the team and maturing throughout their years. So glad that Nolan is back with the Cardinals. In regards to more offseason moves, so as you see on your screen, the notable free agent shortstops. The reason why I bring this up because shortstop is a need. Now I know we had Tommy Edman playing. He's a great defender. He held it down at shortstop. It wasn't a problem. But that being said, these four guys, Carlos Correa, Dansby Swanson, Trey Turner, Xander Bogaerts, they are elite shortstops that Cardinal fans are hoping that Mozeliak will, be intrigued to see if they can make a move. Not saying that, okay, in the past, I'll say this. In the past, the issue for me has been you don't see the Cardinals in talks to get the guys. It's always, no, we're good. We'll just see about somebody else. This needs to be the year that they make at least a big attempt to try to get one of these guys. And you can move Tommy Edman back to shortstop. He can play there every day at second base where he already won a gold glove. Could have won one again this year. Talk about that in a minute. But you get one of these guys, they are producers, they are studs, they are great defenders. They would change the team around, especially being right there with other gold glovers already on the field in Arenado, Edman, Goldie, and the team it is a great defensive team. So you add one of them four guys, they're looking good. So we hope that Mo will make a move. Now the reason I want to bring this up is because yesterday, Derek Gould from the Post Dispatch, he asked Mo, Mozeliak, who do you have as being your shortstop next season? And without any hesitation, he said Tommy Edman. And I'm like, oh Lord, here we go. All season just begun, and he already saying this. Now, I listened on the radio, and on 101 ESPN, shouts out to them. And it kind of made sense when they said this, but maybe that was just a ploy for Mozilla just to say that right now because he don't want to give out all his cards. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of like playing poker. Oh yeah, Tommy Edman, shortstop. Here we go. But it's too early to say what he really wants to do. And he want to give out his card, his hand. So,
well, and as for what he knows, he will be the shortstop next
year.
Right,
because he's on the team. It's guaranteed. So, we'll see. I just hope that this is one of opportunities this offseason that we have shrewd Mo and he'll make a nice bold move. They'd be like, "Whoa, okay, I like what he's doing." So yeah, don't give out your cards or your hand, but also at the same time, don't disappoint us and don't make a nice splashy move at the same time.
Out of all the years that y'all have been calling for the big move to come, this would be the year that I totally agree. Mainly because you got big shoes that have just left,
Right.
right? You need something. The fans need something else more so than, okay, well, you don't want this to feel like it's a rebuilding season. You want this to seem like, okay, we're not stepping off the gas. We're gonna accelerate actually. So I think this should be the year where some big moves are made. Maybe not even one, maybe at least two big moves. But I
And
think.
especially with the payroll going up. They announced that the payroll could be around 180 something, $190 million. That's like $20 million more than what we have been doing the last couple of years. So as you said, T-Bone, this should be the year that you're making not just one move, but making multiple splashy moves, because it's proven in the postseason, one move ain't gonna cut it. Bottom line, you need to make multiple moves, because we cannot be satisfied with just going into the playoffs or whatever. You got to have dudes who can produce.
But you know what? Not just the producing part, because that's obviously important. I think they need somebody who's that locker room guy that's going
Yes.
to seem like to rally behind them. Because I don't know who that is right now. You know what I mean? Like, who is the guy on the team? I'm not saying the biggest producer. I'm saying who's the guy that makes everybody else want to be better on the team, and that's what they need right now.
And also what's big, like for instance, I think you brought up Yachty, being that captain, but it's like the team has respect for Yachty because of what he has done over the years. But as I look back, if I'm Dylan Carlson or whomever else, how can you tell me, come on, guys, let's go, let's take over, let's do this, but you're not playing every day like you used to? You're 40 something years old. You're not in your peak anymore. You're not producing as you used to. So it's like, how can you galvanize the troops to do something when you're not doing it yourself? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We need to have that guy on the team that is doing that, so they can see it, not just hear it or get a pep talk, but they want to see that on the field too. And that's what's missing. And Joe said, I just don't understand Mo and how he's talking. If you're not going to get Aaron Judge or not going to try for one of these shortstops, then how are we going to get better and protect Goldie and Nato? And I go back to this before. Goldie's going to win the MVP more than likely. Nato's going to be second. But even those two guys, I don't feel that they are two guys who are going to be the guys to get you over the hump. Once again, great guys, MVP caliber, but I just don't see them as being that Jordan Alvarez type guy for the Cardinals. That's what this offseason is all about. You need to get that dude. Joe says we cannot rely on a 21-year-old Jordan Walker to be our savior. Correct. He needs to make an impact, but he shouldn't be the guy that we count on. Correct.
Now I will say, if you get Aaron Judge, I don't think you're seeing many more moves coming after that. I'm just saying.
See, that's the thing. Okay, yes, we get Aaron Judge, but that still this cannot be. That would be a great addition, yes. But we cannot just sit back and say, "Oh, we got Aaron Judge, so okay, now we ready." No. Because
no.
there's still other needs.
When I say that, though, I mean, what I'm saying is, if you get him, that's going to cost you a lot of money.
They have that though.
Right, but you also competing with the Yankees. That's one of those contracts I can see that could get out of hand, where it's like, man, that's a lot of money when you look at that. But I think if they got Aaron Judge, what I would expect would be, all right, they get Aaron Judge, and nobody else is going to be that top tier guy coming that year. I would expect that they would try to sign him long term, so that way over the next few years you'd be adding pieces onto that main piece, But I wouldn't expect for you to get, I wouldn't expect too many more, top tier guys if they got Aaron Judge this year, and that's a big if.
Joe says Aaron Judge and trade for Kenley Jansen. No, I'm sorry, and trade for Jansen with Toronto or Murphy in Oakland, who's the catcher. It's totally so able, just not a Cardinals move. Yeah. So pretty much what Joe is saying, it's not a typical Cardinals move for them to get a Judge and then get other pieces as well outside of Judge, and that's where that has to change.
When was the last time we signed somebody that caliber of player?
Probably Matt Holliday. Truthfully, you know what I'm saying? That's probably been the last time that we've actually made, a huge move to get a big time caliber player was probably Holliday.
Yeah.
So Joe was saying, let me go back. So she was saying Aaron Judge and trade for Jansen with Toronto or Murphy in Oakland is totally doable, just not a Cardinals move, meaning that they don't usually make those multiple splashes, but that has to change. You cannot go into these upcoming seasons and not make a splashy move. You had to get out of your comfort zone because that's what other teams have been doing. That's what Philly did. That's what the Braves did. The Astros have been doing that. You have to get out of your comfort zone if you want to be a contender, not just going to the playoffs, but to actually have your chances to increase of going to the World Series. Give us a reason to have more hope. It's like over the last couple of years, it's like we get there, but it's like, okay, I can't see us going past the first round. That mentality has to change. Flat out, it has to change.
Yeah, I agree. When we got Holiday, that was around the same time we got Berkman too, right? And Berkman was at the pretty much at the tail end of his career at that point.
We got Holiday maybe about 3 or 4 years before Berkman.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, because we got Berkman.
Okay.
Yeah, we got Holiday. I can look real quick and see. Let's see, Matt Holiday. See, I love Google. It just have everything you need right there. So yeah, we got Matt Holiday. Let's see, 2009. Berkman came on 2011.
Okay, so yeah, he can't. I knew one of them came on the championship year. So yeah, we had Holiday, and then we got it.
Yeah. So yeah, at first Matt Holiday, he was known for the wrong reasons, missing a easy fly ball in left field against the Dodgers. He lost the ball in the sun or whatever he did. And when I say he got ridiculed, he got ridiculed for a long time until he just kept at it, kept producing, and people forgot about it. But yeah, for a minute, he was like public enemy number one in that series in the NLDS against the Dodgers, but it's all good. He's a Hall of Famer in the Cardinals, and now he's back as a bench coach. So once again, shouts out to him. Going back to the awards now. I brought up earlier about possibility of Goldie and Naldo being MVPs. On your screen now, we have the award nominees. Rookie of the Year in the AL, you have Steven Kwan, Julio Rodriguez, Joe's other boy, and then what's that? Aubrey Rushman. He's a beast for the Orioles. In the National League, you have St. Louis Cardinals own Brendan Donovan. Then the Braves, Michael Harris and Spencer Strider. Manager of the Year nominees: Terry Francona from the Indians, Scott Servais from the Mariners, Brandon Hyde from the Orioles. For the National League, you have Dodgers Roberts, the Mets Buck Showalter, and the Braves Brian Snitker. Cy Young candidates from the White Sox, Dylan Cease, Alex Manoah from the Toronto Blue Jays, and Justin Verlander. I know who has Verlander's vote from the Houston Astros. The Cy Young for the NL nominees: Sandy Alcantara, former Cardinal who got traded. Max Fried from the Braves, and Julio Urias from the Dodgers. And then the MVPs, Jordan Alvarez from the Astros, Aaron Judge from the Yankees, Shohei Ohtani from the Angels, National League Arenado, Goldie from the Cardinals, and Manny Machado. So I believe they will be having the award winners in a matter of days. I expect once again to have Goldie win the MVP for the National League. More than likely, Aaron Judge will be the winner for the American League. And it was just announced not too long ago that Aaron Judge and Goldie are Hank Aaron Award winners for their respective leagues. So shouts out to them. And Joe says Holiday was a trade and extend like Goldie, though. Dexter Fowler is our biggest free agent signing, which is bad. And Mike Leake, our biggest pitcher signing. Sad, sad, sad. That deserves a.
Hey, you brought up Justin Verlander, Cy Young Award finalist, right?
Correct.
Didn't I mention a few weeks ago that he's going to be a free agent at the end of this year? Y'all wouldn't want 1 year with Justin Verlander?
The thing is that he may want more than 1 year, and I'm not sure the Cardinals want to do that.
I mean, there's always trades.
Joe said the Cardinal way. I feel you, Joe. I feel you. The frustration is coming through the comments.
I mean, look, if we could have kept Dexter Fowler another year, that would have been better. At least the Cubs wouldn't have won the World Series. That would have been a missing piece from them.
Well, I mean, actually, we got Fowler the year after they won the World Series. So,
no, wait a minute. What was it?
Yeah. So,
wait a minute. Fowler left us to go to the Cubs.
No, that was Jason Hayward.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Look, mixing them up.
Nah. Hey, I got you, bro. I got you. Be here. I got you, bro.
That was the first name that popped in my mind. I'm like, oh yeah, mix them up. Got it.
Yep, it is all good. It's all good. So, T-Bone, it's 8:23. Give everybody a reminder about how they can find us and show us love.
Hey, look out there, everybody. If you're looking on YouTube, make sure that you go ahead and hit that like. Go ahead and subscribe. Make sure you go ahead and hit that
bell.
And that's right, because when we go live, you will be
notified.
All right, make sure you send out some emails to us to let us know who you want to see on the Platform Sports Talk Show. Send those emails to platformsportstalkshow@gmail.com. And you can reach out to us on any of the social medias, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And also you can see us on the Roku, and you can listen to us on Hot 365 Radio. That's right, always hot. You catch the Man Cave, you get the Ladies Night, you get the Platform Sports Talk Show every Wednesday night. You'll hear us. You'll hear us all every Wednesday, every month. I don't think we've really missed too many Wednesdays, maybe one here or there, but we're here most of the time. And speaking of Ladies Night, that's right. Ladies Night's the first Wednesday of the month. You get to hear all the ladies out there give their opinions. And hey, don't be shy. Send in some opinions. Make sure you send some comments into social media. So if it's especially Facebook and YouTube, so we can know, or they can know what you want to talk about. And hey, don't just have the Ladies Night. We got the Man Cave, the last Wednesday of the month. Hey, I'm there. Stanton's there. Sadal's there. Craig Black, all the way from the DMV. He's out there.
Black on black on black on black.
So, I mean, look, lots of diversified opinions. And you know what? We talked about Ladies Night. We talked about the Man Cave. And you know what we got coming up next month? It's the Super Show, December 7th and December 20th. We got the Man Cave and Ladies Night combined for a big Super Show. You get to see all the people out there on both those shows. And we already saw that there's going to be head-to-head between Bunny and Stanton.
Stay tuned.
December 7th, December 28th. Check us out right here on YouTube.
Loving it. Let's go ahead and transition on to to a new segment we have called Yes, called We Ballin'. We discussing all things basketball related, whether it's high school, whether it's NCAA, whether it's the NBA. Shouts out to all the high schools that's starting up the basketball season. It's going to be an incredible year. I personally look forward to, and hopefully people from the crew, the man cave, ladies night, that we just show love going different high schools throughout the year and supporting the coaches that we have on our crew, like Coach Stringer, supporting her like I did 2 weeks ago, going to Mobap, and I went to the college and supported their team. They have an incredible squad. Shout out to Coach Sam Pearson, who was a former guest, previous guest on our show months back. His squad's looking good. I have footage on the platform Sports Talk Show pages, so check it out. Got the reels going, and of course, we have Coach Raven Ward, who was a previous guest on Ladies Night, Cardinal Ritter girls basketball team. They're starting up very soon. They are already getting ready for the season and everything. Of course, from Ladies Night as well, Coach Willis, her Clayton girls high school team, getting underway very soon. So I want to go out and support as many schools as possible and just show love and enjoy the youth playing basketball, doing what they love to do. So shouts out to all the coaches out there, no matter what level you in. Do your thing, have a great season, stay healthy, and just have fun doing what y'all do. This past Monday, I went to the Smoooth basketball game. They have a squad, y'all. Travis Ford got that team looking good, and as long as they are healthy, they should be a force to be reckoned with. I expect them to be a top 25 team by December. I plan on going to a game next week against Penny Hardaway and his Memphis Tigers when it comes to the Shapers next week. So, T-Bone, if you want to go, let me know. I can make it happen possibly for you. Shout out to Brian Turner, former Man Cave panelist, for holding me down with that. But check out the platform Sports Talk Show Reels. I have some behind the scenes footage that I'm about to upload very soon from that game as well and others. So it's an exciting time right now. Mizzou doing their thing, getting started with the season. They 1-0, Smoooth 1-0, Illini looking good as well. And shouts out to all of the local high schoolers who are now playing in certain colleges around the area as well, or just around the country. So great time right now if you are a basketball lover in all different facets of high school, college, and in the pros.
Hey, look, I got to shout out those Normandy Vikings out there playing in Viking Hall,
Hey.
the best arena in high school in St. Louis. No, not just St. Louis.
Uh-oh.
The best arena in high school sports, Viking Hall. I'm sticking to it. That's not even a hot take. That's a take, and I'll take it all day.
Like Horace Banks says, in that order. Yeah, so definitely excited about the college basketball season, high school as well. And of course, we are in about 3 weeks into the NBA season. And of course, the hottest topic has to be maybe Kyrie Irving. Kyrie.
Talk about. I mean, seriously. I mean, there's other stuff happening in the NBA, but I mean, that's kind of the story, right?
Yeah, it is, and we've been having the chat going on, and the man cave chat has been very good, very it's good just to have these debates because we want to just learn from each other, get educated on certain things, and as you all know, over the last week or two, Kyrie made some comments about a movie that's on Amazon. And a lot of people, or it's been presented in regards to him not liking Jews or being anti-Semitic, like Kanye West, and Kyrie saying that he's not that guy, that he respects and love, whatever. But now he's in a situation where he's been suspended by the Nets, and he's been given a list of demands that must be met before he comes back to join the Nets. and it's causing a outrage. And a lot of people are saying, well, how come this hasn't been done to other people? Look at what this person has done. Look at what this owner has done. Look at this, look at that. But T-Bone, you feel that this is deserving. Give us your thoughts.
I mean, look, he made a choice, right? This all started with him making a tweet, is it making a tweet? Tweeting. This all started with him tweeting out about a documentary that has some things, and I said this in the chat, that are suspect at best, right? This isn't stuff that everybody has a general consensus on, and it's like, yeah, absolutely. This is some stuff that has some, pretty polarizing stuff in it. You'd agree, Smooth?
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, he sent that out, and then he got questioned about it. And as we know Kyrie to do, he apparently does not like when people really question him about stuff. And it's not, he doesn't go forward, but he doesn't retreat, if that makes sense. Like he doesn't really, he won't really acknowledge what the real questions are. People are trying to say, like, okay, look, you tweeted this out, but what about this? What about that? Can you at least denounce this, denounce that? And he doesn't do the actual stuff to denounce it. And I mean, look, you once you making these public statements like this, you messing with people's money. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. I don't care. You can talk about the spirituality, the journey that he's on, but this journey is going to cost some people a bunch of money. So after it was getting backlash, and by the way, he can thank Kanye for the spotlight being on him.
Yes.
Because
thank you.
Because Kanye made the block hot. All right. Kanye is the one who kind of made everybody start paying a lot of attention about this, and then he does this like a week after all this other stuff happened with Kanye, and then apparently thought, nobody will notice.
Like, man, I don't think no one knew what anti-Semitic was until about a month ago. Like Mr. Kanye West.
But I mean, look, this dude, we know he has some different views, right?
Right.
And it goes back to wasn't he one of the people out there? The Earth is flat, and then once you get to 2020, he's like, okay, all in with Black Lives Matter. As far as the movement, anyway, he's all in on that. And then you get to 20 or later on, he's like, I don't know about this other stuff that's going on out here. I don't want to put this stuff in my body. Blah blah blah. Okay, that's a choice. Now we here, and it's doing this stuff, and we talking about marginalized groups, and you can't. If there's anything anybody's learned, you can't mess with marginalized groups. It does include Black people, because as we've seen in the NBA, they got Donald Sterling up out of there.
Out. Now,
people can say, well, he made a lot of money off of that. That's out of their control. You can't.
Right.
They can't rob him of the team.
He was an owner.
So only thing you can do is get him up out of there and just have nothing to do with him. The only way you're gonna get him up out of there is from the sell team. He made a bunch of money. Okay, fine. But you ain't got that option with Kyrie, right? You can pay him his contract and have him sit out and just go away. Nobody wants that, right?
That's $30-something million wasted if they did that.
Well, I'm not saying that they wouldn't do it. I'm saying if it came down to it, they can't suspend them and not pay them for a long period of time before they have to start paying them or whatever. So if you don't want them around, they can pay him out and for him to leave. But look, people are mad because he's got this list of stuff, and everybody wants to give a lot of false equivalencies of, well, what about this person in the NFL and this person over here and this person over there and this person? We talking about what Kyrie Irving did over this time period in this team. This team wasn't responsible for Riley Cooper. Okay, this team wasn't responsible for what's the Braves player from back in the day, John Rocker. Okay, we talking about right now.
Rocker, yeah,
we talking about Kyrie Irving saying what he said, and they gave him many chances. Please clarify. Please just at least, okay, you think what you think. Well, can you at least say that denounce this stuff? And he don't want to denounce it because I guess that's control. And I said the same thing I said in the chat. Kyrie comes across like a guy who during his 1 year of college, went and took a philosophy class, and now comes out and, what is life? Where am I? Is this a pen? No, it's an instrument that I use for writing. It's a vessel. Like, dude, like, okay, you can do that. But when people in this league are saying, like, hey, man, you can't be bringing that stuff around here, you got two choices. You can either say, all right, I'll follow within the rules, or I'll go do what I did, or not do what I did. Go do whatever else he wants to do. You can. It's not like they. You can look. Here's another example, right? Since people want to bring in equivalencies, Colin Kaepernick, right? He got in trouble for what he did, but in his case, did they? They didn't. They didn't like fire him, right? He had a contract. They didn't make him. He played it. He was in his contract. They didn't release him from his contract until his contract expired. Then they basically conspired against him. Right. Now, are we saying we want that with Kyrie? Is that what we want? Are we saying, okay, well, we just don't want him to play, and we're just going to act like, well, I guess he's just not a good player anymore? They didn't do that. They said, look, man, this is harming us, harming our image. You're on this team. If you want to be here, here's what you're going to need to do. And they gave him a list of stuff to do. And I think people are kind of turning on that because they don't like the optics of, you just going to beat this man into submission. It's a choice. I don't really know what to say. Like, he said some stuff that doesn't reflect well on the team. Team asked him to clarify. The team asked him to at least meet with other people so he can see a different point of view about it, and he ain't want to do it. So, okay, look, you want to come back? I need you to do all this stuff because now you done made us mad. That's where I see it. Like, look, he hurt himself. He hurt the team. His character's messed up. The team would be messed up if they just let him come back after he's not even denouncing this stuff after promoting the documentary and tried to play the Charles Barkley card of, I'm not a role model, like that type of thing. Like, I don't think he said role model, but I'm not influential. Like, come on, man. Who are we kidding?
Right, but then all last year, you talking about you want to be an advocate for the voiceless.
Yeah, like you can't in 2020 be like Black Lives Matter and all this stuff matters to me. Didn't he sit out during the thing not because of the virus?
Right.
Out because of that, because he didn't feel right in all that stuff. Like, you can't go from that, and then like when you have another marginalized group and they're like, hey man, we need you to listen to what we have to say, be like, I don't have to because I'm this and I'm that, and people are trying to say like, maybe you should hear what other people have to say. Respect other people's boundaries when it comes to their beliefs.
So yeah, and my biggest issue, because you pretty much laid everything out, my biggest issue is it's always something. That's the biggest issue. You're one of the, when you are playing, when you're on the court, you're one of the top 10 best players in basketball. People love to see you play and do your thing, but you're robbing people who love the sport of basketball because of your ways of you being consistently always unavailable. You're getting paid all this money. You have an opportunity to showcase your skills, but you're always putting yourself in a position where you cannot be on the court to fulfill your contract. Because at the end of the day, you are an employee of the Brooklyn Nets or what any team you sign for. You are that employee. You work for them. You're supposed to be representing them, but you are not available. And that's the worst part about this, is that I don't want to guarantee a championship or whatever, but just the odds of the team being that much better because you're that much more available. That's the part that I'm thinking about, is that it's always got to be something to stop you from being better than where you are right now. And that's what separates the good to the greatest players, because they make sure that they are available. And that's what Kyrie is not doing. And then also, and this goes out to any other athlete or celebrity or whatever, people don't think of the ramifications, the domino effect of what can happen after you hit send or after you say something. They just want to say whatever they want to say, like it just, it's their world and we just living in it as if there's no other repercussions going on. And as I said before, the whole Ime Udoka, he's not there because of Kyrie. James Harden left the Nets probably because of the mess that Kyrie did. Kevin Durant wasn't messy. It was Kyrie. It's just too many instances in which he's affecting things long term because of his ways. And I don't want to be like that shut up and dribble kind of guy, but you always putting yourself in a position in which you're not making yourself or the people around you who's depending on you. And matter of fact, you were that guy that wanted to bring KD and Harden and other guys to Brooklyn to form a team, but you not holding up your end of the bargain. That's the problem I have, is that you are robbing not just yourself, but the people who were trying to trust in you to come together as one, but you keep putting yourself in positions to make yourself and others look bad. And it spreads like wildfire when you see other cats doing this, other cats doing that because of what they're seeing. Not saying you're supposed to be the perfect role model, but at least be put in, put yourself in a position in which others are saying, man, I can, if I can do this, like what so and so is doing. I see what this person's doing. Be more of a positive impact than always making it just about you. That's my issue.
I think too, like and I think I said this earlier too. He's not a good communicator. This is part of the problem. And you know what? I don't even know what to categorize this in. Like he seems like a person that's just been overwhelmed with a lot of information in one way or another, right?
Overload, yeah.
And now he doesn't really understand how to express what he's thinking. And the thing is, if you go and tweet something publicly and you are a person who has daily press conferences or weekly whatever, people are going to ask you about the stuff that you do. You have to be able to articulate what it is that you are trying to say. Like when he talks about the spiritual stuff, he's not able to articulate his actual thoughts.
Right.
That's what winds up getting him into even more trouble, because people are like, well, hey, man, can you at least say that you're not this? And he's like, why do we have to label stuff?
Right,
what is it?
Right.
But even in the little video that he posted today, I think he was talking about, I'm just this because I was told to be this. And I learned to be this. I was taught to be this. And it's like, dude, I understand what I can understand what I think. I don't think I do understand. I mean, I
think it makes sense.
you know how you can get the root of something. This is how people fall into conspiracies, and this is how people wind up going down rabbit holes. Is when somebody says something where it's like, well, it sounds right. Huh? Yeah, okay. Well, let me hear more. Like that's what people do. And like with him, I feel like he's just one of these people who went and listened to 20 hours of some deep dark YouTube, and now he's like, oh yes, I know the world, and I know that this is not right, and I'm this and I'm that, and I'm not this and I'm not that. And it's like, dude, you need to start and just stop. And let's start over. 1 + 1 = 2. Okay. Let's start with that, and then let's start building your thoughts, from there. Because the problem is, like, he may have listened to. You ever watch the Daily Show, or watch it on YouTube? You ever seen those segments where they have Desi Lydic, Fox-plain things, where that's basically what I think is going on with Kyrie. Like not specifically that. I'm not calling that out. I'm just saying, like, I feel like whatever he's listened to I feel like if he hears a subject, right? Let's say he heard about backyard chickens, right? Let's say Kyrie Irving heard about backyard chickens. This dude's gonna go and watch 24 hours of videos about backyard chickens to the point where he's gonna be thinking like, yes, and then I need to do this and I need to do that. Like he's gonna start talking about backyard chickens and thinking that this is life. This is you know what I mean? Like he just, it's like he picks on one thing, he hears one thing and just goes in on it. And then like next year, he ain't even gonna be talking about this. Next year is completely different.
So a few comments, and I'm not sure why it says Facebook user, but I know who it is. It is my SA Dub, my wife. She says they've been mad at him since COVID, and now they big mad because the team's still losing. Then she also says, so they want to drive him out. They mean the Nets.
They didn't tell him to tweet that.
What'd you say?
I said they didn't tell him to tweet that. They didn't tell him not to answer in that press conference, to clarify and denounce certain things.
Yeah, and I had to agree with you on that in regards to, because once again, he put himself in that position by saying it and not backing himself up or admitting that he's not this. It's like you said, you're skirting around it. You say it, but you're not you're skirting around, breaking it down, or trying to clarify everything.
Right, and there's certain things he could have said. Like I'm thinking back to the press conference because I remember watching it. There's certain things he could have said where people would be like, "Well, I disagree with what he thinks, but at least he's not anti-Semitic, right?" There's a difference in between the stuff that he can believe that it's like okay, but when you start denying certain when you tweeting out a thing that has a part in there that denies certain events happen, and people are like, "Well, do you want to admit that happened?" And he's like, I don't think that I have to do that type of thing. It's like, dude, you need to sit down because we got problems. Because if you don't understand anything else, you don't understand that even no matter what, it's a business. And there's certain things that are just not accepted. And you can't just go out there and say that. It'd be the same thing if someone was just going out there in a press conference and saying the M word. Like, nah, bro, I don't think that's going to fly.
Right. And then her last comment was, agreed, I'm mad at how he played KD because of all this. And if you don't know, my wife is a huge Kevin Durant fan. Her and Durant's mother, they're like this. They're tight. So she wants to make sure Durant is good. And as of right now, Durant just had his 17th career triple-double. Brooklyn is up by almost no, actually they are up by 33 points right now against the Knicks.
You know what Durant needs to be doing?
What's that?
He needs to pick up the phone. Hey, Seth.
No, Steph.
Or Steph. Hey, Steph. How are you?
Right.
Or no. You know what it'd be? Hey, Steph. You up?
Are you busy right now?
I want to talk. Can I come over?
Because that was and that's Durant's issue, was that he let pride get in the way. He had everything he needed in Golden State. You had it all. You had it. You had the perfect opportunity to win championships every year in Golden State. But because your ego, you left. And you want to be the man in Brooklyn, and he's an incredible talent, incredible scorer. But it puts me back to the whole Goldie and Arenado thing. You're great guys. You could be an MVP, but you are not going to be that guy to put them over the hump.
I don't know, man. What he signed up for is not what he got. Okay.
Sure ain't. but it goes back. It goes back because, like I said before, this man here, Kyrie, is the reason why Durant went to Brooklyn.
Hey, look, I don't care how good of a driver you are. You sold a lemon, it's still a lemon. Like you ain't maximizing your miles per gallon. Okay, like this dude. Look, he left. He was like, okay, look. Everybody hate me for coming to this team, and they say the only reason I won is because I came to this proven team already. all right, I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna do it. Hey, this looks like a good fit. Hey, I got Harden, I got Kyrie. Oh, okay, look, we can build our own thing and we can win together. And everything just fell apart. that ain't his fault.
Yeah. So that's on the East Coast. On the West Coast, Lakers are not looking good. They are, I believe, 3-8 to start the season. Let me pull up the standings real quick, and I'll verify that.
I don't want to see those standings because my Orlando Magic are probably right down there with them if you look at the entire league.
But I do like the first pick in the draft. What's his name? Paolo Banchero.
You're gonna need more.
Right. So the Lakers are 2-8 right now. Three-game losing streak. They are
at least to beat the Warriors.
Yeah. They are 14th right now in the Western Conference. And guess how many teams are in the West?
Wait a minute. It seems like it would be 14.
Nope, 15.
15. I was like, wait, okay, yeah, 15.
So I know we had this discussion before, about who's the GM. But I know that we had a conversation about Russell Westbrook, and I was one of the ones initially like, okay, yeah, this dude got to go. I left a message in the chat, and also no, not in the chat, but on Twitter. Like, maybe I was wrong because Westbrook has been doing his thing off the bench. He has taken a lesser role, and he's coming off the bench, and he's been thriving. This has to be on front office, whether it is LeBron or, of course, Rob Pelinka. And I saw this today on Twitter, and I want to go ahead and share this video. This is via ESPN. Richard Jefferson was talking about LeBron James. LeBron and the Lakers and the organization. So let's play this video, and then we'll discuss further.
To me, because I think he did it because he was committed.
Richard, I want to start with you here. You played with LeBron. What do you make of what you just heard from your former teammate?
I haven't spoken to him, but I feel like him signing that extension was the biggest mistake he's made in his career. And I stand by that. I don't think leaving Cleveland, people might question why he left Cleveland or how he left Cleveland. I don't think even leaving Miami. Even Pat Riley at the time was like, why are you leaving? We're built for a long-term situation. Went back to Cleveland, wins a championship. And then even after he leaves Cleveland, Cleveland's like, hey, we appreciate everything you've done. You come to LA, you win a championship. But signing this extension right now, last summer, it just was so confusing to me because I think he did it because he was committed to the organization. I know you got 2 picks. I'm going to show you my commitment to you so that you can go make some moves. Because we knew what this team was a year ago. We knew what this team was a year ago, last year, and they haven't added any tangible pieces. And for him to sign that extension to show his commitment, the biggest confusion of all of the extensions were Rob Pelinka, because you're like, what has Rob Pelinka done? Because LeBron James was coming to LA because LeBron James wanted to come to LA. Anthony Davis was coming to LA because, well, you know what? He wanted to play with LeBron James, win a championship. So when you look at all of the moves that have been made by Rob Pelinka, does he deserve an extension? And so for LeBron James to commit to an organization and say, hey, you know what? Like, I want to be here. I want to make sure that you guys feel comfortable trading future assets. I don't need a contender. I need a good team. And so for him to sit on the wall and be a professional and say, hey, look, look, we got a lot of guys that haven't played. This is LeBron James, arguably the greatest player we have ever seen. 1, 2, 3, wherever you rank him, he's about to pass Kareem as the all-time leading scorer, and this is the roster that you put next to him. The formula has been shown for 2 decades how to win with LeBron, and they have thrown that all away.
Well, 2 decades?
Yeah. He said 2 decades. I mean, he's been around 20 years.
He wasn't winning for 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, the first year he didn't make the playoffs, but after that, he's been in the playoffs every year until, of course, when he got to the Lakers and they haven't made it. Well, they made it, last year they didn't make it, but the prior year they went to the play-in. But just overall, Richard Jefferson talking about how LeBron signed that extension this past offseason for 2 more years, I believe. But then Rob Pelinka did say he's going to provide all the pieces that's needed for LeBron to be a contending team. But yet, you look now, they're 2-8. They don't have any shooters. You didn't give LeBron, or if, like you say, sometimes LeBron didn't provide complementary pieces to make that team better. And now it's a whole mess in LA. And we're also seeing LeBron deteriorate because these last few years, he's been having these injuries that he can't even play, at least 70 games because, yes, he's 38 years old, all that mileage. I keep saying he should not be that guy because he's getting older now. It should be somebody else like Anthony Davis. So, mainly AD, but he's not available. So it's just an overall, mess right now with the Lakers. But what are your thoughts in regards to what Richard Jefferson was just saying earlier?
I agree. Hold on, I'm still here. I'm still here. Just give me 1 second, because you know what? There was actually something I wanted to send to you, and I forgot to do it. Let's see if I can do this in real time and send it over to you. Let's see, because I think that obviously, I think that the team as a whole, it's like, look, it's not a good team, and I do think that LeBron is a component to that. As I said before, I think that a lot of it has to do with he wanted who he wanted on that team, and he got what he got. So, sorry, let me push this back over. It's gonna take a second.
Gotcha.
But I think that LeBron, he's not. You think you said this a couple weeks ago. He's not the same guy, right?
No, he's not.
And, should the team be built for a LeBron team, or should LeBron be the complementing piece that goes to somebody else's team?
And I said this before the season that he even told AD, take the mantle, like be the guy. So he knows that he should not be the guy, but he has to because no one else stepped up, and that's the problem. And now that they talking about, not saying if it's going to be a reality, but you're seeing sources out there saying you need to trade LeBron or AD or both.
Burn it down.
Burn it down.
Let me see if that video came into you. I sent it to the email. But because it built on something you just said a few minutes ago. But I mean, again, I mean, there comes a point where it's like, look, you're not that guy. And again, with AD, I don't think it's just as easy as, I don't think it's as easy as I done played with this guy for 2 years and he'd be like, here, it's yours, you take it. Like, no, he's set up for failure because the whole team is set up for failure in that way. Like, because the team is structured in a way that's fit LeBron, or in theory, I should say. In theory, this is LeBron's team. So I don't think it's just as easy as to turn on the switch where it's like, okay, well, you're the head guy now, as opposed to LeBron.
All right, and I do have that video if you're ready.
Yeah. Let's see what Jamel Hill has to say.
Because Russell is clearly frustrated. Russell doesn't want to play this shitty. Like, he doesn't want to do that. Mm-hmm. But now, and this is the gift and curse of playing with LeBron. It's never going to be LeBron's fault. I'm not saying it is, but the people that play around LeBron, remember how the people used to be on Chris Bosh all the time? Mm-hmm. Like, it's always somebody that when they play with him that becomes the target for all the frustration over, losing, over all of this, and it's Russell Westbrook. They have made him the villain of the team. And I'm not talking about the organization itself, but fans, and he's clearly struggling. I kind of agree with what Charles Barkley said. I don't really see the joy in his game like I used to.
So I will say this. Russell Westbrook over these last 4 or 5 games since he moved to the bench, the joy is back. So I'm gonna go ahead and just say what Charles Barkley said a few weeks back. At that time, may have been correct, but since Darvin Ham moved him to the bench, Russell Westbrook has been playing. He's been joyful. It's just everybody else on that team. They don't have those guys. To
That
help
was
out
about.
the team. Say it again.
I said for context, that was about a week ago. I think that interview was, and I tried to send it in the chat, but it wouldn't go through. But yeah, but I think Jamel pretty much said what I've been saying as far as a LeBron team. Anytime stuff goes wrong, it's everybody else but LeBron, or at least in the fans' eyes,
Right.
there's a target, and that joy is probably back in Russell because, hey, look, he ain't starting. He ain't gonna get the hate anymore. He's the hero coming off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Like he people look at him and be like, okay, look, he's scoring. He's doing what he does, and he goes back to the bench. But I think that whoever's playing with LeBron needs to be an established guy who's had his own team and doesn't just Pavlovianly defer to LeBron or just treat it like the same way. Can actually say, okay, well, this is how these are my strengths, and we're gonna play to my strengths as opposed to LeBron's.
Got you. So yeah, definitely kind of like a soap opera, as the world turns or as the Lakers turn or something like that right now. But just bottom line, it's not looking good in LA. Not sure if they're gonna make any moves. Now word is that they're looking at a specific player to maybe make a trade for, but we shall see. But it is not looking good at all for the Lakers at this time. Let's go ahead and transition over to football. The college playoff rankings just came out yesterday, and I thought I had it on my screen, but I don't, so I had to go ahead and get it later. Let me see if I can make it happen real quick right now. But let's just talk about the NFL real quick until I get the college rankings up on my screen. But as you see, after week 9, T-Bone, do me a favor, break down each conference and the standings, and then we talk about our thoughts in regards to overall.
All right, so I'm gonna start with the NFC North. You got the Vikings at 7-1, the Green Bay Packers at 3-6, the Chicago Bears at 3-6, and those Detroit Lions. What up, though? You got the NFC East, those undefeated Philadelphia Eagles. At 6-2 is those Dallas Cowboys. The New York Giants also at 6-2, and the Washington Commanders. Black, where you at, man? They 4-5. What's going on? But hey, looks like almost like we're going in order here, because when you get to the NFC South, also number 1 at 4-5. Those Tampa Bay Tom Brady Buccaneers. You got the Atlanta Falcons also at 4-5. The I almost said the Los Angeles. The New Orleans Saints at 3-6, and the Carolina Panthers coming in at 2-7. Now let's talk about the main division that matters. We're talking about the NFC West. Those Seattle Seahawks coming in at 6-3, coming in even, breaking even. Those San Francisco 49ers at 4-4 at 500. That's right. And right below them, that's right, right below them, the Los Angeles Rams coming in at 3-5. Sadal, what up? And you got those Arizona Cardinals at 3-6. Moving over to the AFC, you've got the AFC North, the Baltimore Ravens 6-3, the Cincinnati Bengals at 5-4, the Cleveland Browns at 3-5, and the Pittsburgh Steelers at a measly 2-6. One below. The AFC West featuring Pat Mahomes and those awesome Kansas City Chiefs at 6-2. The Los Angeles Chargers at 5-3. The Denver Broncos at 3-5. Hey, they're not doing as bad as I thought. And you got those Oakland Raiders at 2-6. Sorry, the Las Vegas Raiders at 2-6. some of these names that just kind of stick, except St. Louis with the Rams. But
Right.
all right, AFC East, you got those Buffalo Bills. At some point, they'll probably be the Toronto Bills. You've got the Jets at 6-3, the Miami Dolphins at 6-3, and look at this, the New England Patriots at 5-4. But just like any of those political races, those numbers can quickly change, and the Patriots can somehow wind up back at the top. So
I don't see it.
I mean, maybe not at the top, but they won't be at the bottom.
Right. Well, I don't know. This AFC East is loaded. The Jets are very surprising. Maybe the Patriots may stay right there.
Hey, look,
And
one
still have a above 500 record, but they still is maybe for a spot.
I'm just saying they one game behind everybody. Everybody
Right.
There's one game separating them. That one's up in the air.
Right.
But you got the AFC South. You got the Tennessee Titans at 5-3. You've got the Indianapolis Colts at 3-5-1. The Jacksonville Jaguars. They thought they came sprinting out from the start.
Right.
They 3-6. And you've got those Houston Texans at 1-6-1. Well, there you go.
So, but you're going over the divisions. Let's talk about the NFC West. The 49ers had an impressive showing last week, 2 weeks ago, against the Rams. It was Christian McCaffrey's first full game. I know he played 3 weeks ago against the Chiefs, I believe. But when they played the Rams at LA, McCaffrey had a running touchdown, a receiving touchdown, and he threw for a touchdown. And that was all without having Deebo Samuel playing as well. What are your thoughts and your confidence level with the 49ers winning the NFC West with the Seahawks doing good, playing good with Geno Smith?
I mean, look, I'm not saying that it won't happen. It should happen. But, look, we've already lost to the Seahawks once, right? So if we play them again and we can take that one, that's going to work to the advantage. But then you got to hope that the Seahawks, lose at least 2 more games in addition to that. Because you want to have that game over them. You don't want any type of tiebreaker situations. So I mean, look, Geno, I used to be a Geno Smith detractor, and glad to see him being able to do something in the team where he's having a chance to win. But I hope that the 49ers can come from back. Because, we could take care of the Cardinals. That's not going to be too much of a problem, I don't think. But like I said, we've already beat the Rams twice. I mean, we can't beat them again in the season. So,
and correction, San Fran actually beat Seattle.
Oh, we did? I thought we lost.
No, it was at Seattle. I'm sorry, it was at San Fran, and San Fran won 27-7.
Was it did Seattle beat the Chiefs?
Seattle, let's see. They have not faced the Chiefs yet.
Seattle beat somebody where I was like, oh man.
Seattle beat
I can't look it up on my phone because that's what I'm on right now.
Let's see. Seattle beat let me see. I know it was a team that was like, whoa. Let's see. They beat the Chargers. Let's see. The Cardinals, the Giants.
That would work.
The Steelers. No, they lost to the Steelers. Lost to the Bears. Yes, I mean, their biggest win, look from what I'm seeing right now, was when they defeated the Cardinals 2 times already. Then they defeated the Chargers and the Giants.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. It was the Giants. I knew it was a good team that they beat. Where I was like, oh, okay, look at them. I think they were ones that broke the Giants' winning streak, weren't they?
Right.
Yeah, I knew it was something like that. I mixed up the teams. I couldn't remember who it was, but yeah. So, look, I mean, I expect the 49ers to be in the playoffs one way or another. Right now, I believe they'd be number 7, but they'd be in there. So, hopefully they'll wind up getting towards the upper end of things. But they got a long way to go.
Have we seen the end of Aaron Rodgers?
I mean, it's not like Aaron Rodgers has never had a bad season before. There's been times where they didn't win the division. I don't know how many times they missed the playoffs all the way. I mean, I know it's happened, but I mean, yeah, I think things are not clicking. This is one of those times where he can't pull the ace out of his hole, where they trade off all his good wide receivers and then he ain't got nothing, and then comes up with something.
And that's his fault because of the contract that he signed.
Right, and we've talked about this before. Like he's his own detriment when it comes to that.
Yep.
So I mean, this is what he's getting, but look, at the same time, he's getting paid. So how mad can you really be? Like he's winning either way. It's just he's not winning on the field like he'd like to, and I don't see things getting better for him either.
And I said this before, but if you look right now, the Bengals are 5-4. They're one game off from the AFC North. This is a very similar path that they took last year. They didn't have the best start, but they got hot right at the right time. Mark this down. Don't overlook the Bengals when they get down to the playoffs, because they're starting to look better as the season goes by.
But you know what though? If they don't win the division, they're gonna have a tough road.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because like I said, if you look at the AFC East,
right,
all teams can make the playoffs.
Yes. I mean, for us to say the Jets, yeah. And I love the way the Dolphins are playing, especially when Tua is, of course, the quarterback. That team is looking good. They're having fun. What Tyreek Hill has brought to that team is amazing. And Josh Allen, he's hurt right now. He has a bad elbow. And they're saying worst case scenario, if it was to go, that route, he could possibly have Tommy John on his elbow and be out for a whole year. But they're saying right now that he's day to day. No guarantee if he's gonna play, but he does have a elbow/arm injury going on right now. And if that's the case, the Bills are done. If that's the case,
I mean that would suck, but because I mean I would almost expect to see them against Kansas City in the championship game. But again, I think there's almost anybody right now, because any of those top teams, anybody in the AFC East can make the playoffs right now. In North, you got the Ravens and the Bengals battling it out over there. I think whoever wins that AFC North, I don't think anybody else is coming out of the AFC North. Same thing with the South. And I mean, the Chargers may be able to keep pace, so maybe they'd be able to knock out one of those AFC East teams. But I mean, I think we see where the playoff picture is going to wind up going.
Oh, speaking of playoff picture, if it starts today, the number one seeds are the Buffalo Bills in the AFC and the undefeated Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC. Then you have take this screen off. I'm going to take this banner off real quick. Then you have the 5-4 seed in the AFC, the Jets, 5 seed, number 4, Tennessee. Number 6 seed, Miami, versus number 3, Baltimore. And then number 7, Chargers versus number 2, the Chiefs. And then in the NFC, the number 2 seed would be the Minnesota Vikings. Number 3 would be the Seattle Seahawks. Number 4, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then we have number 5, the Dallas Cowboys. Number 6, the Giants. Number 7, the 49ers. So that is if the playoffs started today. Of course, as T-Bone said earlier, a lot could change between now and the next 6-7 weeks. So definitely stay tuned to that. I brought up earlier college football. As of yesterday, the rankings came out. The college football playoff rankings, and number 1, we have the Georgia Bulldogs. Number 2, Ohio State. Number 3, Michigan. And number 4, TCU at number 4. When I saw that, I'm like, wow, a new day has arrived. Because normally you would see like an Alabama, up there. But TCU right now at the number 4 spot.
Oh, well, Smooth, surely for those people listening on Hot 365 Radio, surely Alabama's in like 5 or 6, right?
Nope, they're number 9.
Number 9.
Yep.
Oh,
So number 5, we have Tennessee. Number 6, Oregon. Number 7, LSU, who just defeated Alabama at LSU this past weekend. Number 8, USC. Number 9, Alabama. Number 10, Clemson, who just lost to Notre Dame this past weekend too. So a big shakeup in college football, but that's why you just love college football, man, because that's what you can do any given Saturday or possibly Sunday or maybe a Thursday or a Friday. A good team can lose.
what would happen if next week or this weekend coming up, Georgia gets knocked off, Ohio State gets knocked off, and let's say Tennessee and Oregon wind up in those top 4 spots? You'd be almost guaranteed a new a new champion at the end of the season.
But then, did you say Alabama loses too?
If Alabama lost? Oh no, I didn't say if Alabama.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say then they'll be put back up there in the top 4.
Oh, well, we don't want that.
Trust me, the committee wants to make sure some way, somehow, Alabama is right there in the thick of things. So,
That's
we'll
a lot
see.
of spots for them to jump.
Yeah, I mean, but you did say if Georgia lost, if Ohio State lost, if Tennessee lost. So
No, I didn't say if Tennessee lost. I said if Georgia and Ohio State lost,
okay.
if Tennessee and Oregon bumped up to those top 2, or not top 2 spots, but up in the top 4.
Okay, got you. Yeah. But I definitely said that Alabama won't be number 9. They'll be higher up. I have a feeling.
Well, we'll see what happens. It's a couple games left. How many games are left in the season?
I believe it's like 3.
Yeah.
So college football is definitely almost at the finish line. I want to bring this up, going back to the NFL real quick. Yesterday, it was announced that Jeff Saturday will be the new head coach, or right now interim head coach of the Indianapolis Colts, after they just got rid of Frank Reich, who was there for 3 seasons. The reason I want to bring this up is because outside of coaching a high school football team in which he didn't even have a winning record, and he has no other college or professional coaching experience. He was a contributor for ESPN. He was a consultant for the Colts. And now he is an interim head coach for the Colts. And this has to spark an issue in which it already has been previous issues in the past with the whole Rooney Rule, the whole 9. But are we getting to a point, T-Bone, that it's not about what you know, but who you know?
I think that has a lot to do with it. I think also with Jeff Saturday, because when he was a contributor for ESPN, or at least during the time when I was watching, so from like 2011 to like 2016, 2017, I know he was on there regularly, and I could tell in the way that he was presented that they presented him as having a lot of knowledge. They presented him as very intelligent, all that type of stuff, to where, the perception of him might be that he's a football guy that knows all, and all he needs is a team, and he can just take them all, take them where they need to go. So, but, just like fans, I do think that front offices can be persuaded with what you see on TV too, right? I think that when they present a guy like that, they may say, "Oh, gotta have that guy. Look at him. Look at he has the respect of all these guys, And just like I said, in the way that he's presented, I think that has a lot to do with things. And he's not someone who's been an ex-NFL coach to where people can kind of sour on him and be like, well, last time he was a coach, blah, blah, blah. It's almost like the Gruden, well, except Gruden was a head coach before,
right.
But kind of like how with Gruden, it's like everybody just figured, oh man, this guy's a genius now, because they hear him on TV so much. And I think that the front office is susceptible just like fans.
So my biggest issue with this is, once again, no prior coaching experience outside of coaching high school. Then you have all the other coaches in the league who should be given opportunities, and they're not even getting a look. It's like you, because of Jeff Saturday knowing the owner, Jim Irsay, and he already had that relationship.
Well, he played
it made it easier. So, just say it again, T-Bone?
I said he played on the team too. So
Right. So it made it easier for Jim Irsay to say, "Here, you take the keys, and we'll see what's up at the end of the year, whatever." But what about your assistant coaches who have currently been on the team already? You have guys who are probably overqualified or definitely qualified enough to have a look, to have an interview or something. Once again, understand it's an interim head coach job, but it's too many times where coaches are being overlooked.
I do have a question though. Now, as we've talked about, he did play with the Colts. He was around the organization for a while. He was a consultant for the Colts too. Now, I have to ask this question, and let's look at this objectively. If this were Peyton Manning becoming an interim head coach, will we feel the same way?
I would, because once again, it's the lack of coaching experience for me compared to guys like Cato June, who's on the staff, who has been in the trenches, who has that coaching experience, just being on the sidelines at least. That, Peyton Manning is a name, of course. Like for instance, if LeBron James said, "I want to be a coach next year," of course people are going to be jumping on it. Is it right? No.
Well, but let's look at the example that we said earlier. I said 5 years from now, Yadier Molina might be the manager of the Cardinals.
And right now, Yadi is already coaching a professional team in back in Puerto Rico. So like he's already getting his feet wet, getting coaching in, and he's about to coach for Team Puerto Rico in the World Baseball Classic. So he's getting his feet wet in coaching. Jeff Saturday got his feet wet in high school, nothing else.
Right. I agree with what you said about as far as like, especially like with coaches, Rooney Rule and all that stuff that we talked about. We've talked about in depth on other shows during the off season. I think that, I don't think I'd have a problem with stuff like that if the way it was distributed was fairly. Now, you know what I mean? Like, okay, we're going to take someone who hasn't had coaching experience, but it's not just the same type of guys every time.
Yeah, I feel you. But definitely a topic that look forward to seeing what's going to happen this upcoming Sunday for him, and just see what happens for the rest of the year.
Here's another quick question, though. What happens if he turns the season around?
He's a miracle maker. Okay, so if that's the case, then Stephen A. Smith should be a head coach of the Brooklyn Nets next season, since he's from ESPN. And you know what I'm saying?
Well, but I mean, he did play. Look, I'm trying to be as fair as I can.
I got you. And plus, we're not here to say certain people should not get a job opportunity. We're not here to knock people off. It is about just how the process has been. That's the issue, is that you're not giving other guys who have been in the trenches that opportunity to prove themselves. It's like, for instance, let's say if you've been a DC coordinator, a defensive coordinator for the Colts for the last 3-4 years, you've been highly, respected or whatever, but then Jeff Saturday comes in and takes a spot that you feel you should have gotten. How would you feel about that?
Bro, that's every job in America. You do your job, they post a position for someone hire, and they don't want to hire internally because they just don't want to hire internally. They'll bring somebody in from the outside.
But the problem is that they didn't even post it. That's the issue.
Look. I had a job situation where I interviewed for a promotion, and it didn't matter what I said in that interview. They were not hiring anybody internally. They posted it internally because they had to post it internally, and then they decided to pull somebody out from the street.
And see, that's the issue with the whole Rooney Rule. Is that you're not even using the rule. Once again, I know it's interim, but what happened to the process? But
interim means audition.
Right. And that's why I said interim. So it like he's permanent. It could change, but we'll see. But we will save that conversation and more for our show next week. Hopefully we should have Bunny and Joe. But one more time, T-Bone, let everybody know where they can find us at.
Hey, y'all can find us here on YouTube. We can make sure you go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, hit that
bell.
That's right. So that way when we go live, you will be
notified.
All right. We've talked about sending emails to platformsportstalkshow@gmail.com. We got Roku that you can check us out on. Hot 365 Radio. You can listen to us. It's always hot out there. You can catch Ladies Night on a Wednesday night. On the first Wednesday of the month. You can catch the Man Cave the last Wednesday of the month. We are here for you every Wednesday, just about. You know, don't hold us to that, but we're here most of the time. And you know what? We also have something special coming up for you in the month of December because we have the super show of the Man Cave and Ladies Night. Look, we're gonna be talking together, maybe clashing. Who knows? We've already seen earlier this evening that Bunny and Stanton, they may go head to head. December 7th, December 28th. Check it out. Don't miss it. Be there.
That being said, this is a Platform Sports Talk Show. Keep them likes, keep them shares going, and check us out next week. It's your boy Smoooth along with
T-Bone.
Y'all have a great rest of your evening and week. We out, y'all.